So what we learned yesterday in this sif is about the Rebbe is explaining here the three aspects that there are in mitzvahs. The tachten in the mitzvah, the elyon in the mitzvah, and then what's even higher than both, putting both of them together. So what did we learn here? The Rebbe says the tachten in the mitzvah is the fact that the purpose of all mitzvahs is to be mevarer the tachten, to elevate the tachten, to take the tachten, which is disconnected and is not eisgeedelt, it's a coarse being, and to bring it a refinement, to bring it an elevation. That's the tachten of the mitzvah. The elyon of the mitzvah, the Rebbe says, is the darkei avaya. When you do a mitzvah, you're getting off an exit and you're going onto the Eibishter's road. You're getting on. You're connecting to a mitzvah that he does even before he commands it does. It's the Eibishter's mitzvah. It's dveikus in the Eibishter's reality. That's the elyon of the mitzvah, where a person leaves his tachten status, his tachten reality, and enters and connects and cleaves to Hashem in his reality. Now we're holding in the page, Membez, the first word on the line is Adam. The Yeshin Yenayla Yosef mitzvahs, there's a third level of mitzvahs. About 6 lines from the top. Yeshin Yenayla Yosef mitzvahs, there's a third and higher level of mitzvahs. Zeh mitzvahs heim ratzon elyon. The fact that mitzvahs are the Eibishter's will, ratzon shalamayla matam, and what this is referring to is the Eibishter's ratzon that's above any reason or logic. The haratzon shebe mitzvahs ubechol taryaga mitzvahs b'shav. The Eibishter's will that we do mitzvahs, the fact that the Eibishter commands, and this is his will that we do mitzvahs, is equal by all mitzvahs, and it's lamayla meramachiv vadim. It's above it's higher than what the Rebbe explained before, that mitzvahs are the machiv vadim. They are the energy of Hashem, they are the expression of Hashem, like a limb that draws the energy. So before the Rebbe explained that the ruchnius and the elyon of the mitzvah is the machiv vadim of the mitzvah. But here we're referring to the source of mitzvahs that's even higher than that. The very ratzon of the Eibishter himself. So since the ratzon and the mitzvah is totally, completely higher than the whole entity of the person that's fulfilling the mitzvah. But it's understood that most definitely from the fact the ratzon of the Eibishter mitzvah is even above the tzir, the existence of the Ramachi Varan de Malka. The Ramachi Varan de Malka is a hamshacha of a lakos l'mayla. The ratzon is the very essence of the will of the mitzvah. It's even above that. So most definitely, the ratzon of the mitzvah is completely removed of the person here below that's fulfilling the mitzvah. So therefore, legabe dargezu, and on this level, k'mayshi mitzadatzma, the mitzvah as it is in its source, ein adam teifes makim. The mitzias of the person doesn't exist. The objective of the mitzvah is not to provide something to the person, not to give the person an opportunity to connect, not to give the person the ability to refine himself. On the level of a mitzvah, once it's nimshach into seder shtal shalos, and the mitzias of the person is teifes makim. So the purpose of the mitzvah is relating to what the person needs, what the person can get from the mitzvah, the elevation he can experience through the mitzvah. On the level of the source of the mitzvah, the ratzon of the mitzvah, the ratzon is all about the Eibishter. It's his ratzon, what he desires. The mitzias of the person doesn't exist b'chlal there. So the mitzvah is not about providing the person anything, whether beruchnius, whether begashmius, on no level at all. It's all about just doing what the Eibishter wants. The bit, all the head of tfisis makaim, and this bittul we're talking about over here, that the person doesn't take up any place at all, doesn't exist at all in the source of the mitzvah, who bittul b'mitzias. This is the highest level of bittul that's referred to as bittul b'mitzias, where the whole entity of the person does not have any significance whatsoever on the level of Hashem's ratzon. And even once the Eibishter commands and tells the person to do the mitzvah, so by the very definition of the word sivui, to command, it means that the Eibishter is commanding somebody. So there has to be a tfisis makim to an existence of somebody that's listening and getting this command. So how can we say that it's not tfis makim at all? The very command itself says that there's a mitzias of somebody that's receiving this command. But nevertheless, kol mitziyusai, on this level of the mitzvah, mitzad ratzon of the mitzvah, what is the whole entity of the person? Hirak lamalas esatzivui. He only exists as far as he's there to fulfill that tzivui, to fulfill that will of Hashem. There's nothing about him that exists other than the fact that he's able to accept and fulfill what Hashem wants of him. And when he fulfills this command, he connects mitzvah. The word mitzvah means to connect with the one commanding the mitzvah, which is completely removed of him, totally. The person is completely from the source of the mitzvah. There's the mashal that's brought for this. There was Mitzayin over here. So my modern, but there's the famous mashal that's brought in Yom Yom about this, of a melech gadol or a chacham gadol, where the ish pashut, the simple individual, has no tfisas makom legabe a melech gadol. The very fact that the melech gadol comes and commands him and asks of him to do something for him, that creates the mitzias of this person in the reality of the melech. Before the king communicates in his mitzvah, this ish pashut, who is he b'chlal? He's not in the world of the king. He doesn't exist b'chlal. Now the king comes and turns to him even before the person fulfills the mitzvah. The very command itself creates a connection that over here, that the king is commanding him to do something for him. But here the Rebbe is explaining the tfisas makim of the fact that the king communicated with him is not that now this person with his talents or whoever he is tfisas makim. That whatever kaiches he has all of a sudden becomes significant. His entire significance only consists of the fact that he received this command and he's able to fulfill this command. That's all. In the other dargas of the mitzvah, where you're talking about the hamshacha of the mitzvah, a lower level of the mitzvah, the first level of the mitzvah is it's a hamshacha of the mitzvah to the extent where the tachton of the person is teifis makim. All the chesrainis of the person and the whole matzav of the person is teifis makim. So the Eibush says, I'm going to help you. I see your matzav, I see what a nivra in this world is. I'm going to give you 613 mitzvahs to help you, to elevate you. The whole focus of the mitzvah is because as a result of the matzav of the person, to help him refine himself. Then you have a higher level of a mitzvah, the elyon of the mitzvah. The Eibush says, I'm going to give you the opportunity to connect to me. I'm going to give you the opportunity to go out of your own mitzvahs and go on to darkei avaya, to connect to the Eibush's ways. That's the elyon of the mitzvah. Then you have a mitzvah, the Eibush is not looking at the person, and as a result of the matzav that the person is in, the Eibush is talking to us and telling us, nothing to do with that. It's the Eibush's ratzon. And of course he's communicating his ratzon to us, but over here the entire tfisas makom of the person is only as far as the person is able to fulfill that mitzvah. He's an eved of the Eibush to be there to fulfill the mitzvah. He's not thinking at all, what do I get from this? What does it do to me? Whether beruchni is, whether begashmi is, nothing, none of that. This is the higher level of the mitzvah.
And if he does, think about his reward.
That's a lower level of a mitzvah. So that's not the highest level of the mitzvah, correct? The person can fulfill the mitzvah, and as we learned in the previous ice, there's 3 efanim how a person could fulfill a mitzvah. Let's take a look in order 55. Mitzvahs meloshen safsa v'chibris mitzayin damar mekaymis for this. So he brings over here from Lukot Teire, from Derech Chaim, from the Frierdiker Rebbe's Maamar, v'ata tetzave. So this is this week's parashas. I wanted to point this out over here. So it says in the Maamar of the Frierdiker Rebbe, v'ata tetzave means tzivoy hu tzafsa v'chibur shrinyin es kashrus. The word tetzave, which the parsha begins with, the famous Maamar that Rebbe spoke about this, and the Frierdiker Rebbe speaks about it in this Maamar that this whole Maamar is based on, that tetzave means connection. Rei Prietz Chaim, and also the source of all of this, is in Prietz Chaim, the Kisvei Arizal, Yitzave, K'meshamer Razal, Kol ha'olam kula le'nivra ela le'tzaves lezeh shehu lashon chibur. Similar to the expression of the Gemara that the entire world is created le'tzaves, to connect and to serve the Yidden, the Tzaddik. Everything is to connect to this one individual. So the same thing when the Torah says Yitzave, the expression Yitzave doesn't only mean command, but it means to connect. The famous pshat that Chassidus says. Okay, let's continue back in the Maamar Ois Vav. So now the Rebbe will show how you have these 3 efanim, the elyon, the tachton, and then what's above both, and could combine elyon and tachton together as far as limud Torah is concerned. Till here we were focusing on the mitzvahs, fulfilling mitzvahs, what the objective of the mitzvah itself is, the source of where mitzvahs come from. Now in limud Torah. Derech zeh b'limud Torah sheyesh b'zeh gimel efanim elu. Same is also true regarding learning Torah. There are the 3 different approaches that a person could be learning Torah. The neis of legimel fanim sheyeshnam b'mitzvahs talmud Torah kebechol mitzvahs. In addition to the fact that learning Torah is no less of a mitzvah than any of the other mitzvahs. So whatever three oifanim we said before in Ois Daled applies to limud Torah. Whether a person learns mitzad his teva, he's learning mitzad his neshama because he wants to express his love to the Eibishter, or he's doing it with an absolute bittul like an eved that wants to connect to the Eibishter. So that applies to Torah as well. It's no less than a mitzvah. Hinei gam b'ha'inyin de limud Torah atzmai. Limud Torah itself, yeshnam dugmas gimel oifanim elu. We can find similar these three oifanim that we're discussing here in the Maamar. What are the three oifanim? The kshaloi Torah mitzad hachachma v'aseichel shabah. There's one individual. Why is he learning Torah? He's learning Torah because of the wisdom, because of the intellect that there is in the Torah. Lahavdil, even Goyim appreciate and see the wisdom that there is in Torah. So limud Torah shalai, an individual that's drawn to learn Torah only because of the chachma that there is in Torah, his brain, his nefesh bahamis, his nefesh ativis is attracted to the Torah. He enjoys, he appreciates the stimulation of learning the depth of Torah. There's an individual that naturally he likes learning wisdom and seeing the depth of the Torah and so on. That's the Torah that a person learns mitzad the tachton in him. The tachton of the person enjoys Torah. Then you have on the opposite spectrum, a person learns Torah mitzad zeh shat Torah memutza makasher Yisrael v'kudshe b'richo. Torah is that medium that connects Yidden to the Eibishter. He's looking for a connection. His neshama wants a connection. Where does he find a connection? Through Torah. As the statement goes in the Zayat, there are three things that connect one to each other. Yisrael, the Yidden, the Torah, and the Eibishter. And the Pshat in the Zayat is through the fact that Yidden connect with Torah, that brings their connection to the Eibishter. So limud Torah shalai mitzad neshama shalai. The neshama wants to connect, and it can't connect directly to the Eibishter, so it connects through learning a word of Torah. That's where it finds its connection. I know, but what this means is shegam oifen zeh b'limud Torah. Even here, when the person is learning Torah because he's looking to connect through Torah to the Eibishter, hu mitzad mitziyusay. He's learning Torah because he, with his mitzvahs, he's looking for something. He wants to get something out of his learning Torah. Sheyiyeh kosher b'kadosh baruch hu, that he should be connected. Ella, however, of course, this is much higher than the person on the first level that's looking just for stimulation, that's looking for chachma. He's looking for his neshama. El shehu ha'mitzi is the neshama. He's looking to connect his neshama to the Eibishter. So, of course, it's much greater, but still, the Rebbe is pointing out, as we learned already before, that there's a common denominator in the two. In both cases, the person wants something, the person is looking for something, to gain something in the Torah that he learns. Whether mitzad his guf, whether mitzad his neshama. But then, then you have a person that learns Torah on a completely different level. The fact that the person learns Torah is not because of any gain, any level that he's going to reach through his learning Torah. He's learning for the sake of Torah itself. He's not trying to get elevated. He's not trying to go away and gain something here. The Torah itself, that's the purpose, is just the Torah itself. Since Torah and the Eibishter are one and the same, you say even more, it's not only Kudshe B'richu. The expression that it says in the Zohar is Kudshe B'richu, but it's even more than Kudshe B'richu. The very essence of the Eibishter is in the Torah itself. K'mayim erazal, as the statement that the Gemara says, Sha'anoich yirashe tevis ano nafshi ksovis yehovis. The Eibishter writes himself and invests himself into the words of Torah. So the ano, the expression of ano, and nafshi hu atzmusi yisbarach. It refers to the very essence of Hashem himself. Upirush ano nafshi ksovis yehovisu. The meaning of this expression of the Gemara is, as hat reingeschrieben und reingegeben sich allein. The Eibishter writes himself and invests himself into the Torah. Ano nafshi shal yidei Torah, and the expression that the Medrash says that when a Yid learns Torah, oisi atem loichim. You're taking, you're connecting, you're there, one with the Eibishter himself, with Atzmos himself. Oisi. So Lachain, if that's the case, K'may Shakadosh Baruch Hu. Just like when it comes to the essence of the Eibishter himself. Ein chas v'shalom emtzoi lezen in yenacher. The Eibishter is not a medium that's taking you somewhere else, that's elevating you, that's a vehicle to bring you to another location. This is it. I'm learning the Torah because this is who my essence is. This is where I'm connected to. So it's not a medium for something else. The purpose is, of course, in the Eibishter himself. The same is also on the highest level of learning Torah, where the person is not using Torah, he's not searching to gain anything through learning Torah. What's the point of his learning Torah? What the person is feeling is the tachlis of his whole learning is this itself. The Eibishter gave me the Torah. The Torah is the essence of the Eibishter himself. And he learns Torah because that is the true identity of the Yid. The neshama of the Yid, at its core, is one with the Eibishter himself. And when he comes and learns the Torah, that's him. That's his very essence. He's not trying to gain anything. This is the Eibishter himself, and this is where he is. The fact that the person knows that the Eibishter and his Torah are all one, so this affects the person. He totally dedicates himself to learn Torah without making any calculations of what he's gaining from the Torah, where it's taking him, and how he's progressing in his learning of Torah, and how he's growing, and what it's doing to him, and so on. He's not making that cheshbon. The Torah changes my life, or the Torah does me this to me, that. It's all true. The first two levels we spoke about over here is all true. A person that learns Torah becomes a more oizgeidelt person. He's involved in muskalois and divrei chachma and the Eibishter's chachma. It brings to the person a great, even for the guf and for the nefesh hativis, for the nefesh bahamas. Instead of being involved in garbage and in shtusim, he's involved in muskalois. It's a great advantage a person has when he learns Torah. The advantage of his neshama, the great connection that's formed between him and the Eibishter when he learns Torah. But all of that is not the essence of the neshama of the Yid and the essence of the Eibishter and Torah. The essence is the fact that he knows who he is and he knows what Torah is. The Torah is the Eibishter himself. So this is who I am. So therefore he learns Torah without thinking what he's going to gain. Gam lo yacheshbon, including not even paying attention to the fact that I'm going to gain through learning Torah, that I'm going to deepen my connection to the Eibishter. Even that is not in his mind at all. A person that learns Torah on this level is learning Torah with an absolute bittul. If this is the Eibishter himself, this is where I am. Whatever I can gain from this, whoever I am, whatever my mitzias comes out higher from this, is Nushnegeya. This is the Eibishter himself. Yeah, that's the highest level of learning Torah. So these three different approaches of learning Torah, mitzad the chachma of Torah, mitzad the connection of Torah, the neshama of Torah, and then the very essence of the person in learning Torah. So what are they? Nimshachim migimul anyanim shebetoira atzma. Here, pass the sefer. Come, sit down. Nimshachim. They are a result, and they come from the three aspects that exist within Torah itself. The Torah is the Eibishter's wisdom. That's what the essence of Torah is, the wisdom of the Eibishter. It's the Eibishter's chachma, and then the Eibishter makes the Torah available for us over here in our seichel. It comes down below that a human being should be able to relate and understand the Eibishter's chachma. And then another aspect of Torah, Torah is also that third knot, that third thing that connects between us and the Eibishter. And then the expression that it says in the Zohar, it's not only that Torah is a level of connection, but the Torah has the very essence of the Eibishter in it, and when you're there, Torah is not an objective for something else. Torah doesn't get you anywhere. Torah doesn't elevate you. Torah doesn't do... This is it. And the Yid feels when he learns Torah, I'm learning Torah for the sake of the Eibishter himself. He's completely bottled in his limud Torah. So now the Rebbe will point out how you have these three inyanim in the actual halacha of when it comes to a person, the chiyuvim, the obligation for a person to learn Torah. These three approaches and attitudes in learning Torah, you could see it in the halacha of a person learning Torah. The 3 points that we spoke of here about learning Torah. When it comes to Hilchas Talmud Torah, what is the requirement of a person to learn Torah? The Achiv Lilmoid, there's one halacha in Hilchas Talmud Torah, and that is the Achiv Lilmoid, the halachas atzrichas lamaisa. There's an obligation a person has to focus and to learn those things that he has to know, maisa b'poil, how to fulfill the mitzvahs, to know the mitzvahs that a person has to fulfill. And the Rebbe in Order 64 brings that comes before anything else. And there's a mile and other inyanim of limud Torah, but let's take a look in Order 64. Sheyesh lahem din kedima al shar kol halachas shein tzarich lamaisa kol kach. There's a din kedima. You have to learn the halacha lamaisa before it comes anything else. If a person doesn't know halacha lamaisa, so then he's lacking in his ability to fulfill mitzvahs. So the very first thing a person has to focus on is halacha lamaisa. So what is this aspect of learning Torah? When a person learns Torah for the halacha lamaisa, hu al derech limud Torah shemitzat teva aguf and nefesh hativis. This is similar. The Rebbe stresses similar. It's not the same. But it's similar to a person that learns Torah coming for the sake of his guf. That his guf enjoys the Torah, his guf appreciates the haskalah, the chachma of Torah. So the same thing over here also. The Rebbe says, what's the comparison? Why is this similar to a person that's learning Torah for his guf and his nefesh hativis? Mikivin shasiyas mitzvahs. When a person fulfills mitzvahs, kail mitzvahs atluyis bedibur. That includes all mitzvahs, even the mitzvahs that the fulfillment of those mitzvahs are just speaking, like speaking words of Torah, speaking words of davening, saying brachas. All those mitzvahs that are bedibur is also done with the physical body. Guf and nefesh. Fulfillment of mitzvahs is through our physical body and the nefesh bahamis. So when a person learns Torah, and he's learning those sections of Torah that are negei halacha lamaisa, because he wants to know how to fulfill mitzvahs, he's learning Torah in order to know what he should do with his guf and his nefesh bahamis to fulfill a mitzvah. So that's the chelik of limud Torah that relates to his guf and nefesh bahamis. That's one minyan in limud Torah, for the purpose of mitzvahs. And that's the lowest level, but this is the most basic and elementary level of learning, that al pi din is the most important before anything else. But then, v'achi of the mitzvahs yidiyas Torah. Then there's an obligation that a yid has to learn and know kol Torah kula. Leida kol Torah kula. Gama and yanim sheinim tzrichim lamaisa. A person has an obligation at least once to learn kol Torah kula and to know kol Torah kula. So So what is a person doing over here? He's learning all kinds of things. Halachas that are negei l'maisa, halachas that are not negei l'maisa. Alter Rebbe brings a Shulchan Aruch, and this is B'emes. This inyan is one of the reasons, one of the basic Yisaitis that the Rebbe said regarding the whole takana of learning Rambam. Not every person has the ability to learn Kol HaTorah Kula, all the Shas, all the Midrashim, all the Yerushalmi, and to see all the halachas of Kol HaTorah Kula, whether it's negei, whether it's not negei. So therefore the Rambam put everything together in a Sefer halachas b'kitzer. So you learn the Sefer Rambam, you go through Kol HaTorah Kula. So over here, when a person learns Torah, Kol HaTorah Kula, Kivin Shein Yana, what's the focus here? Shal mitzvah zu. The point of this mitzvah is Shal Adam Yedas HaTorah, that the person has an obligation that he should know Kol HaTorah Kula. So Hu Al Derech Limud HaTorah B'Shvil HaNeshama. This is the level where a person learns Torah for the purpose of his neshama, that he has an obligation to see to it that in his seichel, which is the main place where the person's neshama is, as the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, in the Moyach HaAdam, the neshama of the person, he should learn and know Kol HaTorah Kula, whether it's negei l'maisa, whether with your guf, there's something you can do with it, whether it's not negei l'maisa, nish negei. A person learns, like the Rebbe brings us in a famous letter regarding Mordechai that gathered the 22,000 children. What happened? When the Mordechai gathered 22,000 children to learn Torah, what did he learn with them? What does it say? He was learning with them the Hilchas Kmitze of the Menachos in the Beis HaMikdash. Has nothing to do with anything b'payil in that time period. There was no Beis HaMikdash, they're not Kaina, but he's learning with them Hilchas Kmitze, because a Yid has a chiyuv to learn and know Kol HaTorah Kula. So that's the second inyan of learning Torah. It's not negei to your guf, but it's negei to the Yidiyah of a Yid to know Kol HaTorah Kula.
And then you can say also